It's part of the bloc's effort to fight climate change. Frans Timmermans is European Commission Vice President.
The Industrial Revolution is happening, whether we like it or not. We can choose to lead it. We can choose to do it in a way that is socially compatible with our values, or we can leave it to other parts of the world to lead it, and then all we can do is follow and deindustrialize.
The rules mean car makers must eliminate CO2 emissions from new cars sold by the middle of the next decade. The law will also set a 55% cut in CO2 emissions for new cars sold from 2030, compared to 2021 levels. That's much higher than the current target of around 37%. EU countries agreed the deal with lawmakers last October. Final approval by member states is expected in March. Many car makers in Europe have invested heavily in electrification. Volkswagen says it will only produce electric cars in Europe from 2033.
Well, I'm glad that the Germans at least are going to make some money out of this, and I hope that Romania is not going to sign that deal and commit economic suicide. But at this point, honestly, nothing surprises me. I spoke with some Romanian leftists, which, I mean, Romania doesn't really have the left-leaning identity politics of the West, but we have the corporate identity politics. It's a party called USR. It's now very fringe, very marginal in the polls, but there are people who support it, and obviously they're very pro-European Union, and I'm telling them, it's like, look, this is bad. And they're like, oh, why is it bad? I don't have a car. Or we can use public transport. Yes, you know, what a great idea. During communism, everyone used public transport. There weren't cars. Do you know how the public transport looked like? It looked like this. Okay? You want to ride into this? Is this what you want? Okay, you know, like they're doing it in India as well on trains and stuff. I mean, it depends on the region you are. Like, some places that happen to have good public transport, like the capital, may not have to deal with this issue, but other places like mountain towns, you know, like people that need to get to school or to work and it's difficult, yeah, it's going to be very nasty for them, but I'm pretty sure you don't care. You know, it's not even about cars. Like, think about it. There are people who legitimately believe that food sprouts from the supermarket. There is a lorry, there is a truck that takes your food from the train station and into the warehouse of your supermarket. And from the warehouse of your supermarket, there are then smaller vehicles that take the merchandise to other stores. If you are going to make it difficult for these people to find replaceable parts, to buy these cars, you're going to create a truck shortage. I remember when people were laughing at the UK because they left the European Union. Look at their truck shortage. Motherfucker, wait until it gets here. It's not going to be pretty. All of the prices are going to explode. I genuinely do not understand how these people think. Like, they still praise the European Union. And I'm like, why? Why? Like, tell me one legislation that they passed in the last 10 years that made my life fucking better. With anything. All they do is they increase taxes. They take away some of the rights. Like, for example, the right to own a car. Like, they make it very difficult. I swear to God, it's almost like they're sitting around the table. It's like, oh, the Industrial Revolution is happening. How can we fuck the peasantry more today? Can we put them another tax? No, we did that. Yes, let's take away their cars. This is literally what they must be discussing behind closed doors. And the people keep voting for that. I mean, I don't know what to say. I genuinely don't. But it's like, look, if you don't vote for the European Union, Russia is going to... The European Union is not NATO. Are you fucking insane? Like, do these people not even understand? Like, okay, the UK has left the European Union. Is Russia in the UK now? Honestly, it is what it is, you know. But I'm really glad we have Russia, because without Russia, we wouldn't have the European Union. Like, there would be absolutely no argument why the European Union would exist if it wasn't for Russia. I guess the European Union needs to thank Russia every fucking day. Oh my God, it's like these people, how do they think? How do they think? Are we going to go back to the horse and carriage and this idea that, oh, everyone is going to have electric cars? Okay, first of all, no. There is not enough lithium in the fucking world for the United States to have electric cars. Let alone, it's like, okay, so I want the US and Europe to have electric cars. That's not going to happen. Secondly, by some fucking miracle, let's assume that everyone gets an electric car. The electric grid is not this designed for everyone to have electric cars. The price of electricity is going to skyrocket. You're going to get blackouts. And people aren't concerned. They don't care. They literally don't care. You know, like, I am noticing that the modern voter, until he experiences pain, he does not care. Right? So if they're being told, like, you may experience pain in the future, that's fine. But it's only when they're experiencing it at that time. Right? So it's only when the due date is approaching and they're realizing, oh shit, the price of electricity is kind of high. Well, this hurts me. Oh, when it hurts him, then it's like, okay, well, maybe I'm supporting some bad practices. But then by then it's too fucking late. You know, and then it's like, oh, it's like 3 more years until election time. Oh, and then after 3 years, they fucking even forget that it happened. They're doing this in California now as well, by the way. Also 2035. I'm pretty sure they checked with the people. Do you guys remember when we signed this? Like, it was an important debate regarding whether or not you should have cars. Oh yeah, that's right. They don't even talk about it here. Barely mentioned on television. It's like, by the by, yeah, the EU signed this. Well, let's talk about the earthquake in Turkey. Let's milk a human tragedy for 2 weeks in a row so we can put ads on it, because sensationalism sells. And it doesn't upset anyone politically in our country or in the European Union. Like, that's safe to talk about, but don't talk about things that actually impact Romanian citizens' lives. Right? Don't talk about those in the Romanian press. And by the way, like, the mentality of people, like, I don't have a car, it doesn't affect me, I drive Uber. Like, first of all, the prices for Ubers and taxis are going to explode. Secondly, if you drive public transport, okay, imagine how many people drive public transport. Not that many, right? That's why it's cool. Like, you always have a seat and everything. Imagine everyone that drives a car moving into your fucking public transport. It's like finding a nice, quiet place where you can relax. Why is it nice? Because it's quiet. It's you. Now imagine everybody going to that place. Is it still a nice place? No, it's not. That's what you're doing. Like, honestly, like, these people, I don't understand how they're thinking. They don't even understand how food gets to their stores. And like, they don't realize what happens when the price of food grows. Oh, fuck. Imagine the agricultural equipment. The agricultural equipment doesn't even run on electricity as far as I know. Like, all the farmers are going to have to switch or they're going to be out of a business. Unless you have an electric tractor, right? Like, that's still a car. There's still a ban on it. Unless maybe it's not, because I haven't seen it in the law. Like, they don't mention that agricultural equipment is not being affected by this. So you're going to fuck your agriculture up as well. Congratulations, keep voting EU. Man, the Russians aren't able to fuck us that bad, even if they tried. But anyway, you know, like, this is why in Romania we call Russia the Eastern problem and the EU the Western problem. Well, actually, Germany, more exactly. Germany is the Western problem. Germany and France. Everything else is the interimarium. Let me know what you guys think, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section.